Let's go ahead and do static path now. This is done. Configuring static path. What is this? Basically the same thing that I did with static NAT. The difference is I have a single address on the outside, but I have multiple internal addresses. So translates private IPs to public to conserve in static NAT. You manually create an entry in the translation table, whereas dynamic NAT, a user initiates a flow for an entry to be created. Same concept, it's static, right? Static path. Is generally used to translate the public-facing servers on the DMZ. The reason is that the clients from the internet need to have a fixed address. Now the difference over here is in static path, I will create an entry. You will create, or we create an entry manually based on a common IP address, but with separate port numbers. The only difference is I'm doing it manually from outside to inside the firewall in 9.x. So this remains the same. So the requirement over here is this. We'll just do the same thing that we did on the other side, but we will do it with a single address. I'll do this as well, copy it, and the ACL copy I will do. That way we can speed up the typing portion. So the way do you do it, the lab over here, I'm going to do this for DMZ4. So I do have the same servers over here. I'm not going to use different addresses. I'm going to use the same address. Let's use a single port because that's what I want to do. I want all these internal servers, 11, 12, 13, and 4.4, to be seen outside as 20.42 for these specific port numbers. So if somebody on the internet wants to browse, he'll send a packet destination to 192.1.20.42. The destination port number will be 80. But if he wants to do a DNS lookup, the destination will be 20.4, port number will be 53. So same IP, but different port number. The only thing is I'm doing it manually, so the servers can be accessed from the internet using the same IP, but different port numbers. Same thing over here with the port number over here being different. Okay, so how do I do that? Let's take a look. This part remains the same. Then you have a keyword service followed by the port number, either TCP, or sorry, protocol, either TCP or UDP, and then the port numbers. The port numbers, high, followed by low, in that order. So basically it matches this thing over here. So the order, first port number is based on the first interface that you have over here. Second port number over here is the second port number you'll have over here. Generally, you're not going to change the port number, so it is going to be the same. So let's say I want to do the second web server over here. I'll say www 4.11. The interface is DMZ4. The address is 42. And then service TCP 80. That means on the DMZ, the real actual port number on that server is 80. On the outside, it's also seen as 80. If I wanted outside, you can say, I will tell my users, go ahead and browse to 8,000 to port 20.42 and I want that to be translated to the internal port of port 80. You can also do that. But in my case, most of the times you'll have the same port number inside and outside. My second DNS server, which is on DMZ4, again, the port number is, the IP address is the same. This is DNS, so UDP 5353. Email to 4.13, DMZ4, 42, service TCP. And this is going to be, again, it is email, so 2525. And the last one is R4, DMZ4, same IP. So all of them are using the same IP. Good. So let's say I want to hide it. Thank you. If I want to hide it, I don't want people to know that it's telnet. What I can do over here is I can tell my user, hey, listen, if you want to telnet into R4, I telnet into 2399. When you do 2399, I will change it over here. So it's an extra level security that not only need to know the public IP of the telnet, but also the port number. So I have done what this is called port redirection, by the way. And this is port forwarding. This is port redirection because I'm changing the port number as well. This over here would be considered port forwarding because I'm not changing the port. Either way, it is considered static path because it is taking a look at the port number for doing the translation. Make sense? Okay. Now the ACL, put the IPs over here, 411, everything is 44. I already have the ACL, so I don't need to apply it again. So everything else looks good. This is your ACL as well. So the only one that I'll be able to test is my router 4. Let's check, copy it. Show NAT detail. The port part is right over here, starts from R4 till over here. So over here it's saying R4, 192.1.20.42. This is the port number for that. It will be translated to the internal IP for R4, which is this guy, and this is the public IP. Okay. Now, if I try to telnet into the normal 23, it's not going to work. So if I do this, let's do a telnet to 192.1.40.20.42. This is not going to work because it's trying to do a telnet to port 23. Port 23, I don't have a mapping for. Remember, I had changed the mapping for 23 to 2399. So I need to telnet to 20.42 for port number 2399. When it does that, then it's going to translate it to port 23 for this particular IP. So let's see if it works. It will not. It's going to time out, and once it times out, I'll do it to the right port number. So this adds another level of security in the sense that the person that's coming in from the outside, if it's not a public type of server, you can add this extra level of security. This is called port redirection. Everybody okay with that? So that took care of static path.